Welcome back to Cheyenne Country at the Nashville Palace. And if you've ever asked yourself, where does that wonderful music come from? Well, a mastermind like this gentleman here, Tom Pick, 8 Grammy Awards for your engineering on so many amazing projects. We're talking from Motown to you name the famous person here in Nashville, over at RCA Studio, as a matter of fact.
I did 43 #1 records.
Amazing. As you sat there and different people would come in, whether it was Dolly Parton or Jerry Reed or somebody like that, what went through your mind each time?
Well, we're there to do a job mainly. You know, it wasn't like Jerry Reed the star coming in. It was like we're here to do a project.
And it's not all scripted out, okay, he's going to sing this line, this goes this way, that's it. You had a lot of input into creating those masterpieces that we heard over the years.
It's all the musicians mainly. You know, back in those days, everybody was live, and you had 12 people doing a song, and they're all working on it, all in, you know, they're an integral part of making it come together. And they're all focused on one thing, was to make the artist. You know, they weren't doing their own licks or anything like that. They were doing things that fit with the song.
Tell us about that Motown movement.
Well, back in Chicago, we were doing all the mastering for Motown. And they used to, every time they come in with a project to record, we did the mastering where you cut it on the, you know, the lacquers, and they'd send the tapes in, and then everything would shut down. You'd work on that project because it was a big client, you know. And normally they'd do parts for, like on a big record, they'd cut parts, you know, like 7 different parts that would go to different plants all over the country on their records.
That was a really big deal because that was a whole movement in music, being part of Motown. Now, we had said you would be the guy to listen to. You're the guy behind the sound. There was an instance where somebody didn't listen to you, and they sure wish they had. And that would be Jerry Reed, right?
Well, he did an album, and they cut a song called "Preacher and the Bear," and so they says, "Oh, this is going to be a big hit," you know. And I says, "No, we got this other one, Amos Moses. I think it's a bigger hit." And so they says, "No, we're going to put it Preacher and the Bear." So they put it out. I think it went to #8 or something like that. And then they put out Amos Moses after it, and it went to #1. First gold record.
Did you ever say I told you so? I bet you did. Yeah, she used that leverage. I bet you did. I hate to put you on the spot, but since you've worked with so many famous people, so many creative, talented people, was there one artist in particular, though, that you really just enjoyed working with? Or were mesmerized by when they came into the studio?
There's a lot of them.
A lot of them?
A lot of them.
Hard to put you on the spot, I guess, with something like that. Tell us about Dolly. Did you know from the start she was something special?
Oh yeah, Dolly is Dolly. The way you see her on TV or anything, she's that way in person. You know, that's the way she is. She's great. I did 7 #1 records for her, like Jolene and I'll Always Love You. You know.
Is that something that you have on your walls at home? Do you showcase it?
Yes, my wife's been wanting me to take them off and put paneling up. You know.
But it's something you should definitely be proud of.
Yeah, I am.
And it's great that RCA Studio is still standing, because a lot of music rows change face.
Yes, I worked at RCA for like 15 years. Then I worked at Porter Studio and Fireside, and then next door to it was Merritt Studio, and I built that. So.
And there's something to be said.
That's all tore down now, and there's a big condo there.
There's something to be said about those buildings and the way you designed them and how the sound bounced off those walls and the uniqueness. So you are definitely a treasure and part of country music history. Mr. Tom Pick, we're very honored to have you here with us.
Thank you.